Hello, I'm James Wilson.
And I'm Matthew Rowley.
And here on Herdix Reviews, we are going to be continuing our review requests. And this is one from
Jar 3662.
Yes.
Why does everyone pick complicated names these days on YouTube?
Yes, but yes, Jar 3662.
That's the one.
You did, yeah, I got it right. But you did request to us that we review the Series 3 finale from Utopia onwards. Which we are going to be reviewing today.
Yes, we're going to get through as much as we can, because it normally takes us a full video to review one episode. So yeah, this is the first big one. It's the only big three-parter, and it's the first two-parter we've ever reviewed. It is, isn't it? Well, the first three-parter, you get what I mean, more than one episode. So we're going to have to try and rush through everything, and if we do miss anything, tell us and give us a heads up in the comment section below, because this is going to be a rush. And we're going to answer some comments at the end too.
Yes, and of course we cannot start the review of Utopia without talking about the return of Captain Jack Harkness.
Nope.
And it was just brilliant how Russell T Davies had tied in brilliantly the ending for Torchwood and also the beginning of Utopia as well. In case you guys didn't know what happened at the end of the series of Torchwood, series 1 of Torchwood, yeah. Jack's doctor detector, the hand in the jar, was bubbling and going crazy, and you heard the TARDIS sound in the background, and Jack just suddenly disappeared, and his Torchwood team were left to not know where he was. So that was brilliant how Russell had just tied that in. Like, it went from not knowing where Jack had went and where that would go to, just piecing it together and just be like, yeah, Jack's going to see the Doctor. And it was just brilliant, which also led them to Utopia. And, of course, I just need to talk about The Run. The Run, which was only like 10-15 seconds, but it was brilliant. Just that music just made you go, ah! And, just like a nerdgasm.
Yeah,
exactly. So, it was just brilliant music by Murray Gold, like ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding, dun-dun-dun. It was just brilliant, because the Doctor and Jack had went to go and sort out the rocket, and they were just running down the corridor. It was just brilliant. Sorry, that was just worth a talk about.
Yeah, we should create a new word called a whogasm.
Yeah.
Whogasm is what we're going to name from now on. Obviously, the beginning of the episode was just a pretty much normal episode. Nothing really to talk about that much. The future kind were, well, not really, they were forgettable in a way, because obviously no one expected that Utopia would actually be part of the finale itself. But we then got to find that out because, well, we'll talk about this first. Jack and the Doctor's conversation, as Jack was under the rocket doing whatever. He really got some answers, Captain Jack, didn't he?
Yeah, because
we got to find out what happened to him.
Yeah, because in Torchwood, throughout Series 1, he was looking for answers, and he was kind of a lost boy. He didn't know. He spent the entire 20th century not having a clue what happened.
Yeah.
So he finally got answers, which was really good. So it was great how Russell just fed in everything from the entire of Series 3 to everything in Torchwood.
And from the end of Series 1 of Doctor Who.
Exactly, and Russell just has this brilliance.
Just tied up everything,
He has this
in
brilliance.
one big sexy knot.
I know, he has this genius where he just combines everything together, makes everything sound like a beautiful piece of sense, which is just brilliant.
And then it led to the reveal of the Master. Obviously, when he was hearing all these little things, another great piece of tying up things from Davies was obviously there was these little the words were, well, said throughout the episode, like regeneration and, how the Doctor can change, time travel, and in the end, that all came into Yana's head, which was tied up from Series 3. You are not alone, Yana. Another brilliant piece of tying up things again.
Yeah,
and then he turned over the watch, and it was just like, whoa,
it was just a great revelation, and it was a great performance from Jacoby, really. He was so unexpected. I mean, he got across to us as this really fragile, really kind professor who was just trying to save the last of the humans. And he really came across to us as
he
just...
couldn't have changed more.
I know, and he eventually became the Master, and that couldn't have been any more of a shock.
Yeah.
In fact, he goes from kind professor to insane Time Lord, John Sim, in a matter of seconds. Is just brilliant.
Great regeneration scene again.
It really was.
But the Doctor stood outside the TARDIS, and the TARDIS is just disappearing as well.
Yeah, and him screaming while he regenerates. It was just brilliant. I mean, when we see the Doctor regenerate, we're like, oh, the Doctor's leaving, but a new man's coming.
Yeah.
But then, when we're like that, oh my God, Derek Jacobi's going away, and who the fuck's going to be taking his place?
What's coming?
I know, so it was honestly a great contradiction between regeneration. It's weird how the Doctor's regeneration can be amazing, and his can just be evil and sinister.
And colourful, really.
Yeah, so, John Sim's first seconds on screen, you could just tell that it was evil, and you just thought, oh, here comes trouble. Which then leads us to The Sound of Drums, where the Master did steal the TARDIS and left the Doctor, Martha, and Jack in the hands of the future kind, which were shit monsters.
Yes, they were just kind of there for the sake of it, really. Just something to keep them occupied, I guess. And obviously they used the vortex manipulator, it's a big word there, manipulator. They used the vortex manipulator to go back to Earth, and then they thought to find out an even bigger revelation, that the Master, this is tying up pretty much all of Series 3, that, well, the Master was that Harold Saxon and was the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
You just the Doctor's face on that big screen when he saw the Master basically in charge of, and was pretty much
so much power.
Yeah, and was pretty much directly giving him a message like what this country needs right now is a doctor.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much giving him the Doctor a direct message.
Yeah,
and
kicking the nuts.
I know, and it was just brilliant to watch how the Master was just like, oh, he's controlling Britain. Just throughout the entire episode, you were just like, this guy is insane and is trouble.
Yeah.
Just that brilliant scene with the Master when he gasses his MPs to death.
God, yeah.
It was just brilliant. He was like modern day Hitler, but it's a bad joke.
Yeah, what a reference.
Yeah, what a reference that. But yeah, so he gasses his MPs, and when he goes, "You're insane," and he just has his thumbs up with the gas mask and tapping the 4 drum beats on the glass table. It was just fantastic to watch, and John Sims acting, just playing the insane and twisted. It's a breath of fresh air, you know, because of the panto-like, as you would put it,
twiddling their moustache.
sort of Masters that we've had in the classic series.
Yeah.
He rebooted the Master brilliantly.
All the old Masters in the classic series have they have the image in my head of them kind of running off with them running in their legs, like going over their head, going like dastardly out of what wacky races was it? I don't know. I might be getting the complete wrong reference, but who cares? But yeah, it was a big breath of fresh air. Getting my words mixed up today. A breath of fresh air. There we go. Compared to all the previous incarnations of the Master, which, I mean, if they're going to reboot the Master, they're not going to make him the same. And much credit to John Sim for that.
Oh yeah,
they picked a perfect actor.
Oh yeah, and the Master was kind of a contradiction as well, because the Master was kind of small.
Yeah.
Like, he was quite small and scrawny. He wasn't exactly the toughest looking
Without
guy.
his power.
I know.
Like the phone call when he could see the Doctor, that highlighted his power.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it also, the phone call sort of gave me sympathy as well for the character as well. Despite his insaneness, it sort of gave him motive, you know, the fact that he doesn't even know what happened to his own people, and the Doctor does. The Doctor has all the answers, and the Master is still kept in the dark.
You described him as a lost boy without a home.
Yeah.
And looking for his home.
Yeah, and it made me had sympathy for the character. So yes, the character did also initiate the Toclafane invasion. The Master killed the President, ages the Doctor 100 years, Martha was on the run. Master takes over Earth. You get the gist, which then moves us on to the last of the Time Lords.
Don't forget about when the 10th Doctor spoke about Gallifrey.
Oh, yes, of course.
You can't forget that scene.
Oh, yeah.
The first glimpse of Gallifrey we ever got, which was brilliant as a doctor for any Doctor Who fan, just because we got answers ourselves about what happened between, basically the movie and now, or whenever the Time War happened. So yeah, it was great for us to actually get answers about what Gallifrey looked like, what it was like, the Doctor when he was just describing it. It made it sound so beautiful. It even made his people sound beautiful as well.
Which we were then later to find out in End of Time that they most certainly weren't.
Yeah, well, great scene, nevertheless.
Yes, so yes, in The Last of the Time Lords, as you probably all know, a year has passed since the end of The Sound of Drums. Earth is in ruin, and it was just really brilliant how Russell sort of made Earth look like what it would look like if we were under some sort of tyranny from a dictator.
Yeah.
You know, if in this country we had a Colonel Gaddafi or a Kim Jong-un or something like that, if we had any of those type of dictators, this is what Britain would be like. And Russell really sort of illustrated that in the writing. So yes, Master was ruling the planet from the Valiant.
It was great how the Doctor and Jack were imprisoned. It literally made you think that there was no hope at all apart from Martha. It made, for the first time ever, the Doctor seem completely powerless as well.
And we can't forget that Martha really did up the ante a little bit. Freema Agyeman gave her best performance as Martha Jones.
She was very underestimated, wasn't she?
She really was. Even I underestimated her.
She was judged terribly.
She really was. She's a very underestimated companion, I've learnt to think. And I mean, she really has learnt to be the best companion, I think.
And she was very responsible.
She really was. So yes, Martha was travelling the Earth, trying to find these supposed chemicals, which connected to this gun, which would kill a Time Lord dead. that eventually was to become a trap for the Master, and so on and so on. So yeah, it was just really brilliant how Martha just got out there more. You know, she had a better performance than she ever did throughout the last 12 episodes.
Yeah, you always say, everyone says that, the finale is the perfect chance for the companion to actually shine, and I think, Rose in her finale, apart from getting the power of the bad wolf, she didn't really have a big part, but this was all Martha's work. The Doctor did hardly anything. Every little thing he tried to do, the Master was always one step ahead, but Martha did something brilliant, even though the finale, was a bit rushed, which we'll get to at the end. It was great to see her have so much responsibility and such a huge part. It made her, one step higher above all the other companions.
Oh yeah, you're completely right. I mean, despite that the Doctor wasn't in the episode very much, it was sort of a Martha-based episode, which was brilliant. I mean, the Doctor was completely helpless. His only hope was Martha, and that sort of gave her courage, which was to be illustrated in Series 4, because she became a unit doctor, and, so this really built her up as a character. It really evolved her character, which was brilliant. She went from, just sort of happy-go-lucky doctor in Royal Hope in Smith & Jones, right up until hard-faced unit doctor in the Sontaran two-parter in Series 4, which her character, you could really see it evolve, which was brilliant.
Yes, so now we're on to, basically the solution, how this was all solved, which was...
Now, for starters, the Doctor turning into Dobby from Harry Potter was not quite the best way to go.
Waste of CGI.
It really was. I mean, what was the point in the Doctor? I mean, I suppose it was because the Master was trying to intimidate Martha, He sort of changed the Doctor, sort of increased him 900 years.
His capacity to regenerate or something
and I suppose his motive to do that was to sort of intimidate Martha, get her off his back. But there was really no point to the Doctor, actually. And I don't think we'd look... even a Time Lord would look like that after 900 years.
No.
How would a Time Lord look like Dobby after 900 years?
I don't know what they were doing there. But yeah, then obviously Martha came onto the Valiant, and the Master was about to kill her, and she used the countdown, and then the Doctor turned young, blew, and started flying.
Yes, the Doctor started... Russell, I mean, come on, man. That was just another rushed ending right there. I mean, all of a sudden...
It didn't make any sense, did it?
It didn't. I mean, I suppose everyone on the entire planet saying the Doctor's name at exactly the same time, the Doctor had sort of, as he said, integrated himself into the Archangel network. So, how does that suddenly make him younger, and how does that suddenly make him generate blue sort of stuff? It makes him look like Dumbledore.
Yes.
Another Harry Potter thing, which is...
If you guys have a more complex mind than us and actually have an answer for how that works, please put it in the comment section below, because we can't think of a way around it, but Russell somehow did. And then obviously, yes, the Master was, defeated basically, and they had a little scene where he activated the, what was
Black Hole Converters.
Black Hole Converters, that was the one. And then after that, they transported back on the Valiant, he tried to escape, and then, a very shocking ending, he was shot by his wife. And the acting from David, once again, gorgeous.
Oh my God.
When the Master was dying in his arms, that was sad.
And yet it wasn't out of character for the Master, which was brilliant. The Master still kept in character that whole time. He still kept selfish and just tyrannical, and just still, his last words were, look at that, I win.
Yeah.
His last words were, I win. So he still kept in character, which was brilliant. But David Tennant's Doctor did beautifully sort of burn the Master's body, and then his ring fell down to the ground, and that was revealed in End of Time, which we may review in the future. I hope
we will. Of course we will.
And of course, another shocking ending. Well, it wasn't really shocking. It might have just been a joke on Russell T Davies' part. But the revelation that Jack was the face of Bo.
Wow,
that was another shocker. I mean,
makes sense. Jack knew from that series finale that the Doctor will meet the Master. Then, obviously, a billion gazillion years later, whatever. Then the face of Bo tells the Doctor you're going to meet him one day, which it leads him in a timey-wimey way. It does work out. So.
It really does. I mean, Russell, another brilliant thing. Rushed ending.
And what I loved as well is that Martha decided to actually leave and have her own responsibilities other than the Doctor.
I know.
Most companions are like, oh, Doctor, I will travel with you forever. But Martha was like, hang on.
I know.
I've got a responsibility.
Rose was like a needy blondy girlfriend.
She was like a little dog that wouldn't leave him.
I know. And Martha was just brilliant. I mean, she left on her own accord, which was brilliant, really. I think she has more panache and more courage than any of more bravery than any of the Doctor's other companions.
So is that pretty much everything? We've got everything across?
Yes, I think so.
Now on to our conclusion.
Yes, Matthew, you shall go first.
Okay, well, my conclusion, basically. I think the Series 3 finale was very gripping and different to all the series finales in the past, as it gave the character of Martha a bigger role than any previous companion. It was great to see what the world would be like, and the pressure on the companion when the Doctor is powerless, along without all help. The Master was introduced in shock and fashion, and was a fresh incarnation, being more psychotic, insane, and merciless than any of his cliched panto-like predecessors. This was mainly due to the great acting of John Sim. It was also great to see the much-demanded return of Jack Harkness, and this finale summed up the Easter egg references which were Harold Saxon throughout the Series 3 in a very clever way. The Doctor didn't appear as frequently, but that was supported by the ever-interesting plot and the unknowing of what the Master would do next. But with such a well-built-up story, the ending was another Russell Rush, with the Doctor suddenly flying, turning young and blue, basically, just because the world had said his name. It didn't make much sense, but the death of the Master was emotional, with amazing acting from David Tennant, highlighting the respect that these two also have for each other. It was great to see Jack keep his responsibilities, returning to Torchwood with a spine-tingling revelation of him being the face of both at the end, and great to see Martha being mature and brave, unlike the past companions, choosing real life over the Doctor. It gave Martha the credit that she deserved, I think, and overall, this was a brilliantly built-up story, introducing the Doctor-Master rivalry, but the ending was rushed, confusing, and simple. So yes, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Brilliant. Now, onto my conclusion.
Here we
yes,
go.
now breathe. So yes, my conclusion is the revelation of the face of Buzz dying message to the Doctor, it being the Master, was brilliant, with Derek Jacobi making the role of Professor Yana / the Master, misleading and shocking for all of us at the end. Not just that, but the return of Captain Jack Harkness tied in very well with the cliffhanger of the first season of Torchwood. I thought the hidden Saxon eggs throughout the season were brilliantly resolved, and the acting performance of John Sim as the Master was not only psychotic and insane with the drums in his head, but Sim also had the ability to make me have sympathy for the character. When he told of his running away from the Time War, the chemistry between David Tennant's Doctor and John Sim's Master is not only a beautiful thing to watch, but gives the Doctor more depth. The final episode of the season gave a great story, as it showed the state Britain would be in if it were under the tyranny of a dictator, which personally I think Russell was trying to illustrate in this in his writing. Martha was given a bigger and better performance than the previous 12 episodes. Her journey across the world showed her courage, and that she is easily worthy as one of the Doctor's greatest companions, and the Doctor not appearing in a large chunk of the episode gave Martha more of a chance to shine and show all of us that she may she may even have a bigger heart than the Doctor has in too. Like Matthew said, the ending seemed rushed once again, with the Doctor suddenly going all superhero on us, and he can fly and generate blue all around him, something like that. The Master's demise was heartfelt, but also not out of character for the Master. When he died in the Doctor's arms, he was still selfish and stubborn. All in all, it was a fantastic story, and brilliantly woven its way through its entire 13 episodes, and even set up the 10th Doctor's final story in 3 years' time. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Even I had to take a breath there. So, 8 out of 10 from me, 9 out of 10 from you. Now let's move on to quickly answering some comments.
Sorry guys, we are going to have to fly through these comments because, as you've noticed, we have done a lot of time on this review and me and Matthew need to die quietly.
Yay.
Alfie Hagen, nice to hear from you again. He says on our Name of the Doctor review, see, I remembered, he said, this was my favourite episode of Season 7 and I think you reviewed it brilliantly. I demand more Whoelix reviews, just kidding, but make more, they're great. Well, thank you, you're making us blush. We are so glad you're enjoying what we're doing, and don't worry, there will be more reviews to come.
Yes, we've got so many planned and we've got such a long list, so once again, if anyone has given us a request, we've got every single request, we've not forgot about anyone, they're all noted down.
Oh yes, they are all saved on my phone.
But yeah, just, technology. But yeah, just give us a lot of time because we're going to take a long time to get through all of them. But yes, be patient, every single review is noted and we will do it in the future.
And our final comment before Matthew and me collapse of exhaustion. There he goes. This is from All Babies Are Rapists, and he's right.
What a name.
But he says, The Master took over Tree Masses and is his father's body in Keeper of Traken, a Tom Baker episode. Very good episode. I've got it upstairs. That's where the Anthony Ainley Master came from. Bet you the snake thing came from nowhere. That is very true. The Master is no stranger to taking over other people's bodies, but yes, the snake thing did just come out of nowhere.
What I don't get is that they were his dead remains. Last time I checked, our dead remains like ashes. But how can the Master's dead remains turn into a snake that looks like jizz? Oh yeah, the Americans are right, let's just ignore what was said in Name of the Doctor. When a Time Lord dies, they don't have a scar tissue in all of time and space. No, they just turn into some kind of creature that's made of jizz. You never know, after the Doctor's 13th body, he might turn into a jizz pig with purple eyes.
Personally, I just think that movie just completely disconnected the fact that the Master is also a Time Lord. If the Master can do that, so can the Doctor. They're both Time Lords. That's just fucking insane.
I think Anatomy is fucked up because the guy who commented is clearly a cat. So, you know, he's clearly a cat. The Doctor's clearly a fucking jizz pig with purple eyes. The Master's a fucking jizz snake with green eyes. I just don't know. I mean, the movie and Name of the Doctor, Remains of a Time Lord, they're both completely different. One of them's wrong, and I think that the jizz snake is the wrong one.
Yeah, definitely. So, you guys have been watching Who Extra Reviews. I've been James Wilson.
You've been James Wilson. You won't be for much longer because I think you're on the brink of death.
And that's Matthew Rowney. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and we will subscribe right back. Please comment in the section below on anything said in this review, because we love you all. Matthew, say the rest, because I'm going to collapse.
Well, that sounds very lovely of you there, James. Yes, all comments that are in the comment section below we will answer in our next video, which will be an Unearthly Child review, which will not be until next week, because Jamie is going to Flamingo Land for the weekend with his family
In a caravan.
in a caravan. So you're going to be stuck with me this weekend. I do apologise. So thank you for watching this review. Don't forget to comment. I'll be accompanying you guys over the weekend. Thank God that Jamie is going to be fucking off. I'm Matthew.
I'm James Wilson. This has been Who Extra Reviews. See you guys next time.
I think my head's bleeding.